It came at a time when the Americans needed her most. Just a couple days before the meet, she crunched her ankle on a dismount, and it bothered her badly all through the meet. After each event, the coaches talked about scratching her, but it was Shannon who wanted to compete and help the team keep their grasp on the bronze medal. Considering the obvious pain she was in, we all assumed there was no way for her to compete in the all-around. Well, she amazed us once again with her decision to perform. Her answer to me after the team competition was quite simple and clear. She loves to compete and would hate to miss any opportunity to do so.
We'd hate to miss any opportunity to watch her, but...
Ice Paddies, the Fukui Sun Dome in Sabai, Japan, was built to host major international events like the World Gymnastics Championships.
I'm John Neighbor, and today the women's all-around title is up for grabs as the defending champion Shannon Miller is less than at her best because of an injured right ankle. Now, this will make her attempt to win a third all-around title even more spectacular. And Kathy Johnson Clark, America always expects her to win, but perhaps now that's a little unrealistic.
Boy, it is impossible for me to predict how she's going to do. We're not allowed in the warm-up area, so only Shannon knows how this is going to affect her. But based on the team competition, she won't have an easy time. Though I must say, I have seen her rise to the occasion before. Even if Shannon's not up to par, the competition will be no less than amazing. I'm completely blown away by the Chinese gymnast. Mo Huilan is one of the greatest talents and has some of the most beautiful and daring routines I've ever seen. They're spectacular but risky, and with this group of great all-arounders, she can't afford to miss anything.
Well, with the Olympic Games less than a year away in Atlanta, many Olympic contenders are just now beginning to taste the Olympic gold. Well, if this week's team competition is any indication, Bart Connor, Romania might have a couple of athletes who could vie for those medals.
Well, certainly, John, one wonderful gymnast who lots of gymnastics fans would like to see get the gold here is Lavinia Milosevic. She has won a world or Olympic title on all four individual apparatus, but never a world all-around championship. Her biggest competition today may ironically come from her own teammates, Gina Gojian and Simona Amanar. Now, in addition to American Shannon Miller, the best hope for the U.S. may be Dominique Moceanu. Now, unfortunately, she's been a little bit nervous here and may be just a little over her head as well. Unless she gets more focused, she probably won't win a medal, but she may gain some valuable experience here to help her have a shot at an Olympic medal next year in Atlanta.
Our first competitor is Dominique Moceanu, the 14-year-old ninth grader out of Houston, Texas, getting ready to mount the beam, one of the more challenging of the four events.
And this will be the truest test of her ability to handle this kind of pressure. She was a bit overwhelmed in the team competition. You could see it in her eyes. She didn't have that usual sparkle. A very difficult pass. It is critical for her. 3 layouts. One of the hardest things to do in gymnastics at this level is to not second-guess yourself. If you doubt it for just a second, sometimes you panic and overcorrect. She needs to trust her good training, be aggressive, and go for perfect landings so she doesn't have another little bobble. Oh, see, she checked herself again.
I think she was unlucky to draw the first spot here on the balance beam. This is her first major international event in the all-around finals, and the nerves have to be just getting to her.
Bart, I think it's actually the best thing that could happen for her. She needs to know what that feels like. And so far, she's handling it. As the routine goes on, you can see her get a little tougher with each move. There you go. Good for her.
Nice finish.
And so Moceanu gets her first performance in the all-around under her belt as she goes over to Coach Bella Caroli for some prompt feedback. Now, in the all-around, athletes perform on all four apparatus simultaneously. This floor exercise was occurring while Moceanu was on beam. Simona Amanar, one of the Romanians that won the team title this week.
And she helped them the most on this event. She earns those high marks with her tumbling runs like this.
Amanar, the European Cup champion on floor exercise this year.
She has incredible power and spring in her legs. And you combine that with great technique, and you've got great tumbling passes.
Moceanu's beam score, 9.637.
Kathy, it's kind of clear that the Romanians spend a lot of time working on tumbling and not so much on the dance and choreography, because this dance is not great.
I have to agree with you, but watch this. Full twisting double back. Most gymnasts would end right there. She's going to come right back with a triple twist. That's how she scores big.
And the score she received for that floor exercise routine, a 9.775. And now one of our pre-meet favorites, Mo Huilan from China on the balance beam, 16 years of age, 4 feet 7 inches tall. At last year's Asian Games, she won 5 gold medals, but interestingly only finished 3rd in the all-around.
You're not going to believe this routine. This is one of my favorite routines ever. She has absolutely everything in this routine to make it world class. The Chinese always take chances on this event. This is incredible. Round off layout. It was even better than it was in the team competition. Watch her head go back on that jump. That one little balance break is the only slight error in this whole routine so far. I'd really like to see her go for a stuck landing. It is the one area where the Chinese really need to work on. Round up back handspring. Oh, no. This is exactly what we have seen so many times in the past. Yet, at this competition, I really did not expect it. That should be your world all-around champion, and it's gone. And she gets a hug when she needs it most.
You know, this kind of mistake is a lack of experience in a way, because she was going for a stuck landing, didn't really keep her knees bent in order to prepare to take a step, and was unable to accommodate the over-rotation. That's a shame.
Mo's score, 9.312, a rough break in the first rotation. When we return, Shannon Miller will...
The World Gymnastics Championships on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Brought to you by JCPenney, doing it right. Kellogg's, with good taste, nutrition, and value, the best to you each morning from Kellogg's. State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Tagamet HB, the most prescribed medication of its kind, is now for heartburn.
Rotation of the women's all-around competition. Next up, American Shannon Miller, whose 5 Olympic medals in Barcelona included a silver in the all-around. And we should remember she's competing on an injured right ankle.
And with that in mind, John, this is going to be the most challenging of all her routines. It looks as if she's going to do the same floor routine she did in the team competition. She's watering down a bit. This is the critical part of a routine, a double twisting front somersault.
Oh, a little off there.
It's important because she really needs to earn bonus points from the judges, and that's an element that she can do that with.
You gain more and more respect for this young lady as a tough athlete every time you see